I'm standing outside Mavis's house. It's a 1950s semi-detached bungalow here in Gawsworth. I'm going to go inside and speak with David, the landlord. There's been lots of things that have been done to this home, including external wall insulation. There's been a sun tube fitted. We've got LED lighting and a warm roof. David, tell me what's been done to this home to save energy.
Well, there's a range of measures, but they're all aimed essentially at conserving heat and saving energy. The principal one, the one that's most obvious as you walk up to the house, is that we've wrapped it essentially in a blanket of solid wall insulation. It looks great, but it also keeps the house really snug. In the attic, in the eaves, we've also sprayed a hard water-based foam insulation, which is much better than traditional loft insulation at conserving heat. And then, so we've wrapped the house essentially in a blanket of insulation. Then, when we're looking at how we use the house, we've tried to reduce the kind of needs for energy in the building. We've put something called a sun tube in, which brings natural light into the centre of the hall. You don't need to turn your lights on during the day. And then we've replaced all of the light bulbs with LED light bulbs, not like those modern ones that are dim for a bit and then take ages and eventually get to a dim light, but LEDs that snap on and they're really light straight away, so you don't have to wait for ages, but you're using a tenth of the electricity you were before. One of the slightly unusual aspects of this retrofit in this building is we've introduced something called mechanical heat recovery ventilation. And that's a really clever way of making sure that you get the maximum out of the heat you put into your house, instead of letting ventilation come out of the door. So it draws warm, moist air from your kitchen and your bathroom where you might have had a shower or done the cooking. It takes it up to a very special box in the attic. It draws the moisture out and expels it into the atmosphere, keeps the warmth of the heat and brings new dry air into the house. So you've constantly got warm, fresh air circulating around the building. Much more effective at heating it once and using it for a lot longer.
That sounds like a lot of improvements that we made to this home. What are the benefits?
Well, one of the most significant benefits is that people have noticed it going on. We've actually had neighbours coming up and asking questions, talking about the issues, raise the awareness of energy conservation. But for the people who live in this house, it's just been tremendous. So the phrase that's stuck in my mind when we've been talking to Mavis is, she's snug as a bug in a rug.
Was it really intrusive and disruptive?
Obviously it's a major project, and any major project like that's going to have some implications for people in the house. But Mavis has been very impressed by the cleanliness of the workmen, hosing the surfaces down at the end of the day. The garden, she says, won't take long to recover at all. I think possibly one of the hardest things is making sure she has enough mugs for the brew. If you think about the works that have been done, then predominantly either external or they're in the loft. And so as long as you've got that kind of access into the loft, really the disruption to the living areas of the house is absolutely minimal. And I think Mavis has been quite surprised by how easy in and easy out the works have been.
Well, it sounds like a great thing to do to your home. Have you got any advice?
Oh goodness, I think there's no question that the financial and the comfort benefits are substantial. My advice would be, think about it really seriously. There's a group called Golo in Macclesfield, as you know, who are helping people understand what their options are for energy efficiency, whether it's the Green Deal or another set of measures. I personally am about to get involved in solid wall insulation on my own house. There's plenty of people I know in Macclesfield who suffer from mould in the kitchen or the bathroom, for whom this could make a massive difference. And really, when you think about the relative cost and disruption versus the massive benefits, both financial and in terms of that quality of life, I think there's no question it's worth considering.